All right, you got some news there, Rudy, do you?
Let's do it, huh?
Let's do it.
California Governor Gavin Newsom's characterizations of his humble origins are raising some eyebrows, given his family ties to the late billionaire heir Gordon Getty. During a recent appearance, Newsom recounted that his mother, who divorced from his father when he was young, hustled when he was growing up. I
love it.
Yeah, my mom was 19, pregnant, and divorced a few years later with 2 kids. Came from no money and just hustled. Worked hard, grinding every single day, 2.5 jobs, no bullshit. We had roommates all the time because she couldn't afford the rent. And throughout his career, Newsom has told similar hardscrabble stories about living in poverty, about the time that for example, he claimed to have slept on the couch while his sister slept in a hallway because his mother had to rent out the spare bedroom.
It's kind of interesting. I was thinking sort of the mindset on this. Newsom grew up with privilege. His dad was a judge. His dad was a judge that was pretty favorable to the Getty family, and then later on became in charge of the Getty Trust of like $4 billion or whatever. So his dad was a heavy hitter lawyer.
Oh my God, this
judge, rich guy. And that's where he came from, Bay Area. Look, there's certain indicators, and people should just know the indicators. Like, if you open a winery at 25, you probably have some money, some family, some backing, or what have you. But I was kind of trying to picture the psychodynamic of it, and we'll hear him. Let's listen to him, and then I'll tell you what I think.
But also, it was also about paying the bills, man.
Yeah, man.
And it was just like hustling. and so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV. Started, just getting obsessed. Sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of.
Hey, it's like the White Stack Bob story.
Come on. Macaroni and cheese. Come on.
Are you talking about me?
Yo, YG.
YG,
but
man.
Every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms fall
yourself.
off.
Come on, man.
The whole thing.
All right.
And then,
so you know what I realized? Obviously, he grew up with privilege.
Sure.
And his Nancy Pelosi and the whole thing. And okay, fine. Dad. Okay. You can do a bullshit thing where your parents got divorced, but if your dad is handling the Getty Trust for $4 billion, you're fine.
Doing okay.
Okay. Now, here's what I realized, though, as I was trying to really think about it. He claims he was this. Like, he grew up this way. He grew up this way. I don't know what. We'll play a clip of him. Here's him talking to me about growing up with a single mom. Let's put it to you this way.
You want to talk some more?
Everyone wants to talk about an even playing field. I tell people there's no such thing as an even playing field. Some people grow up with rich people. Some people grow up, their dads own factories they can work at. Some people grow up poor. I grew up poor. I don't know where you grew up, somewhere in between.
Mama worked 2 jobs, and we were a foster family. And
some people, So everyone grew up somewhere different. Sometimes your ethnicity holds you back.
And by the way, in a divorced household where my mother stepped up and stepped in, and just because my dad wasn't there didn't mean I had no damn chance. There were other factors.
Well, he was there for a while.
He was there for 1.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
When did he cut out?
I was an 18-year-old pregnant mother, had me at 19, my sister at 20, and they were divorced 1.5 years later. And now he still played a role in our lives.
All right, so he grew up hard scrabble rich.
Yeah.
Okay. But as I was thinking about this, I was like, all right, let's try to figure out this dynamic. You can clear the screen if you like. I grew up poor, and I didn't grow up like poor sharecropper poor. I grew up about as poor as you could be in the 70s in Los Angeles, which is not Kansas in the 20s. Mm-hmm. That was a different kind of poor. That's
Dust Bowl.
Yeah, waiting long lines wearing dress shoes.
Yeah.
Poor with dress shoes.
Yeah.
Now we have poor with Air Jordans.
Yeah.
And that's a different kind of poor. So now there's poor with the smartphone and poor with cable and poor with Uber. Yeah. And, that's not really poor. But I grew up about as poor as you could be in sort of semi-modern Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And food stamps and welfare and that kind of stuff. And then I realized I have a totally different perspective on poor people. Like, poor people that I grew up with were fucking lazy and they're complainers. And my mom could have got a job, but she didn't really want a job. And she'd rather get welfare and food stamps and complain about the government. And most of the people I hung out with, their parents were kind of like, and they weren't exactly hustlers. They didn't work weekends. They like to smoke. They like to drink. They like to watch TV. Like, they were kind of poor for a reason.
Yeah.
Which is they didn't get their fucking hustle on. Like, they didn't make the hay while the sun was shining. Some of it was like substance abuse. Some of it was just kind of, kind of a basic low IQ, kind of dullard, kind of stupid, Part of it was like them kind of trying to game the system a lot, kind of get their hustle on a little bit, like, I don't mean hustle like hustle movement. I mean like bullshit hustle. Like we would, if there was free spaghetti night at the church, we'd go down there. We didn't have any business getting free spaghetti at the church. My mom could have made spaghetti at home, but this was free.
Sure.
So why not stand in line? Lots of like tell the school to get the lunch tickets and all that shit. But as far as I could tell, a lot of underachieving bullshitters who drank a little too much, who had a couple of vices, who gambled a little even though they had no business gambling, and kind of were more into fixing up their own chopper than paying for their kids' braces or saving up for college.
Sure.
It was on them.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys are fucking dumb and you're lazy and you're depending on the government to bail you out, but it's not because you're not able-bodied. You're just fucking dumb and lazy and you don't fucking want to do anything. Like, you're not, and sort of narcissistic. Like, just like, hey, man, I could go do this and go do that on a Saturday, but I want to hang around and have a beer and relax.
Yeah. When people will say things like they'll look at maybe somebody who is 50 years old will see another person who's 50 years old and they'll go, oh my God, do I look that old? And you're like, no, you look older than that.
Right.
I would love for people to hear people talk about the race to the bottom. I grew up hard scrabble. I grew up with this. I grew up with that. And then afterwards play them the tape and go, by the way, you sound like that, but way more whiny.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they just go, oh shit, I sound like an asshole?
So the thing about Newsom is I was trying to break it down in my head when he was lying about his hard scrabble. He did not grow up that way. So he may have a sympathy for these people because he doesn't know them.
Sure.
And so the people that don't know these people are constantly like, these are hardworking, proud people who are just looking for a hand up, not a hand. No, they're fucking lazy people who want the government to fucking pay them and then complain nonstop about rich people not paying their taxes when they don't pay jack shit for taxes or do anything for anybody. Yeah. I know them. They're not proud. They're fucking dumb. They're dumb and they're basically lazy and they do a lot of pushing off on the government and the people, like sort of blaming the old man or the lady or the whatever. They do a lot of externalizing. They're fucking lazy and they're not very motivated and they don't have much ingenuity at all. They're just like, they're not here to do anything but take care of themselves, and that's how they roll. And then their kids, because they're not being taken care of, essentially just drift off early, and they drop out of high school, and they smoke early, and they drink early, and they get shitty jobs, and they follow the trajectory because there was no guardrails, there's no college savings, there's no tutelage, there's no guidance, there's this. As a matter of fact, the kids are like a liability, and they want those kids to get the fuck out of the house so they don't have to deal with somebody who wants food. They don't want mac and cheese all the time, So I got a front row seat to these people, and there's nothing proud about them at all. And it's not just me. My friends' parents were like, I was just saying how I was saying yesterday, my best friend, Chris' dad, I mean, we live in an apartment together. His dad had to come stay with us for a month before he checked himself into prison. And he was like 48. You know what I mean? Like, these are fuck up losers. Not proud anything.
Yeah.
They're fucking grifters. He'll take as much free shit as they can get their fucking hands on.
There's nothing sadder than seeing the mom and dad with the goddamn sign at the end of the exit ramp, and they got 2 little kids with them. And every time I'm like, you are showing those kids the worst possible. You never want to end up like this. And why are you showing them that this is an example of how you get by?
Yes.
It's awful.
So, but I realize Newsom never saw that because he's lying. He's lying about this, like Kamala Harris has to lie about working at McDonald's. Lie about hard scrabble because that's their constituency. And in their world, somehow, in order to do something for black people, you have to talk black or keep hot sauce in your purse or some sort of bullshit. Hey, man, I lived on mac and cheese, man. I played basketball, man. I love Fat Albert. Man, I love that cartoon, Fat Albert. Ooh, yeah. So he's full of shit. He doesn't know it, and he thinks these people need it. I lived it. I saw it. They don't need it. Like, he sent out I think it's one of your stories about Snap getting cut off or whatever.
Yep.
He sent out a tweet last night, Newsom did, about 40 million people going to be not denied access to food. But I love the denied access.
Yeah.
Denied access to food. So you get yourself an In-N-Out burger, someone's going to slap it out of your hands from the government.
There's that word literally again.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, so it says Donald Trump is literally dancing in Asia while 40 million people lose access to food. You don't lose access to food. You lose access to me buying you food.
Yeah.
You can go get your own food. Hey, Dawson, you're eating right now.
Yep.
Did I buy you that food?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right. You work here. Did I remove access for you to get that food?
Nope.
No, you bought that food with your money. That's your food.
Well,
there's not access. Everyone has access to food, just like you have access to birth control if you work at Hobby Lobby. Now, Hobby Lobby may not buy your birth control, but you still have access.
Maybe access is one of his words, though. Remember, he said these people don't have access to checking accounts.
Right. So here's the thing. Why do I have access to everything, and these people have access to nothing? First off, these 40 million people, 37 million of them are morbidly obese. They're all fat.
Yeah.
These people have access to fat reserves that are going to keep them going for at least 5 days.
Oh, God.
At least. A fucking 48-hour fast would be the best thing that ever happened to these lazy fat asses. Number one. So they don't have access to food. Okay, so let's cut them off. Do they wither and die on the vine? I'll bet they find a way to eat.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm optimistic that way. Yeah. But I wrote they should explore the possibility of getting their own food. I know it sounds crazy. And I know, see, Democrats, and especially Newsom, looks at himself as a zookeeper, and they're the animals, and he's in charge of slopping the animals, and they will perish if he doesn't slop them. What he doesn't understand is they can go out and hunt and get their own food, and he's not the zookeeper, and they're not in cages. They have free will.
Yeah. Every time somebody talks about universal health care and they go, it's the right, that's why we'll never get universal health care. I saw a woman the other day drinking a Nestle's chocolate milk, like the half gallon of it, drinking it at a bus stop while simultaneously smoking a cigarette while being 85 pounds overweight. And I thought, maybe that's the reason right there. Like, we can't take care of ourselves. Maybe
Cannot
that's it.
judge. So 40 million people are not going to have access to food. I've never, again, I've been poor. You find food.
Yeah.
Like I found it at my friend's house a lot of times. You figure it out. Just like if you're homeless, you find a place to live unless you're a junkie, in which case you don't. Do we have Josh Gardner? We can work it out, by the way. I haven't heard the song in a while. I like it, but it kind of reminds me of AOC talking about what the Indians do.
We can make it work. We can make it happen. Every man, woman, and child throughout the land. Gotta do our part. Gotta love our brother, man. We all got to get together, lend a helping hand. Blacks are good at sports, Jews at making money. And Greek folks used to be good at a lot of things. Swedish chicks are hot, French folks are saucy, and Puerto Ricans boogie to that crazy beat. Albanians love sheep, Hispanics love relaxing, and Irish people value good times over family.
All right, we got it. They value good times over family.
Mm-hmm. Great line, man. Great line.
Yeah.
One of the things we're talking about, people.
All right, wait. Let's hear AOC again because that reminds me we can work it out. Yeah. So basically, the Indians boogie to their own crazy beat.
So
is
funny.
Essentially what goes on. She's great. All right, here it is. Let's see.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island.
Jesus Christ. Fucking just talk. Just go do something. Would you fucking build something? All right. It's weird, but it's attractive.
Yeah.
It's people like the process.
Yeah. Yeah, because you look at everybody behind her just nodding their heads the whole time. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they hate that. It's part of the reason also it's two parts. A, they love process. They love to talk about stuff, but they get really shamed and agitated if you just start building shit without them. Mm-hmm. So it's like so the ballroom fucks them up. They don't like Trump in his ballroom, and they're so agitated because if you really think about it, what's the ballroom? I don't know. It's a ballroom that they need because they used to do shit in a tent with wet grass, and then Trump's donors are going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So your thing as a Democrat should be, I don't know, knock yourself out.
Sure.
Also, I don't know what Trump is. Is Trump 79? Like, he's going to turn 80? He's going to be out of there at 83? Mm-hmm. How much ballroom use is that guy going to really get? You know, I mean, I don't know. You can look it up. But the ballroom is going to take 2 years to finish.
Yeah.
And he's 80. So how much of this is going to be used by him?
Yeah.
I would say future generations will probably be able to use the ballroom more than him. But you should be neither here nor there on the ballroom, but they get agitated. And I've definitely experienced this with roommates where you go like, why don't we clean up? You know, and they go, I'm not going to, you know, fine, I'll start. And you start cleaning around them and they get pissy.
Oh, yeah.
They get really shitty.
Yeah.
Like when the room was finished in the basement.
Yeah.
Because it shames them.
Yeah, it shames them. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's the ultimate troll to add something onto the White House that's going to stand the test of time. And it's going to be a giant reminder, a big, F you to everybody who hated that guy. Did you see the video he posted the other day of him flying the fighter jet, dropping shit all over the No Kings protesters?
Yeah.
Like, the guy they should teach a class on how to troll people, and it would just be all of the stuff that he posts.
I think they will. 2000, hold on. Experts interviewed with New York Times described a proposed timetable for the completion of 2029 is optimistic. So not 2 years, then like 4 years is optimistic. Trump's going to be out of office and well into his 80s, so I don't know how much booging to that crazy beat he's going to be doing in that ballroom.
Yeah.
That'll just be for other people.
Yeah. Let's move on. Laugh Factory Chicago manager arrested for allegedly interfering with ICE. A manager at the Laugh Factory Chicago was arrested by mass federal agents, and the wild encounter with law enforcement was caught on video. Night manager Nathan
You ever
Griffin,
been there?
I have been there. I've met Nate real quick in passing. I don't know him very well. I mean, seriously, we shook hands real quick. I don't really know him, and he meets a million people a day. But yeah, I saw this the other day.
Is that in downtown Chicago?
Maybe it was downtown. They do talk about how this was definitely in Chicago. It happened in front of his mother, who was in town visiting, but doesn't give an exact. You know what? Actually, it said it was outside of the club. That was the first report that I had seen. It's not in this from TMZ.
Nate white guy or Nate Hispanic guy?
Nate white guy.
Oh, okay.
Beard. Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing battle with ICE?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as anything happening without women screaming what's going on. Women are going nuts.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. You know, it's funny. The guy who's being handcuffed and zip-tied and tackled is not making a peep. But every woman around is screaming at the top of their lungs, what the fuck are you doing? Crazy. So that's him on the ground?
That's him on the ground.
Now, how did he get to there?
You know, they don't show that in the video, but from what some of the reports were with that is that he was interfering with law enforcement while they were possibly interrogating somebody or making an arrest, and that's where that was the first initial meeting that he had with police officers and ICE, and then this is where it ended up. But they don't show, there's no video that shows before that.
There's something going on, and I think we need to put a PSA out because we haven't really gotten the message. If you fuck around with cops or ICE or uniform, whatever, they just take you down.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we have a lot of bravado. It's sort of like every once in a while you see a blonde chick slap a black dude, and it's like, he's going to counter that with a stiff right cross. Like, I know you think nothing's going to happen because you're a girl and he's a guy and he's not going to, and we're in public. He's going to.
Yeah.
So don't do it. And there's a weird thing. Women have more than men, which I keep seeing, which is they run up to the ICE guy and they start shoving him and screaming and stuff like, bitch, you're going down to the asphalt.
Yeah.
And then when you go down to the asphalt, don't scream what's going on.
You're surprised by it.
I like the surprise part. I would never be surprised if I tried to fight a cop. So if you get in on them and you start pushing on them or blocking them or whatever, then you go to the ground. Mm-hmm. Now you can go, why are they there? Oh, I don't know. Well, what right do they have to be there? I don't know. Well, is it good or bad or right or wrong that they're there? That's all a secondary question.
Yeah.
It's the first part where you push on them. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You'll go down to the ground. And then they'll go, why? And it's like, well, because you pushed on them. Mm-hmm. And then they'll go, but they're in the wrong building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you pushed on them. So now you're on the ground.
Yeah, I think if you play the video a little bit more, you'll actually see, I think the women that are in this video go a little bit more bonkers than what they already are. Like they kind of really start to.
That's
You
good.
can bring it up, yeah.
So there's two people on the ground.
There's two people on the ground. I don't know if the one is, because he was with his mom, and I don't know if one of them was his mom that was on the ground with him.
I don't know. I don't think my mom would ever jump in.
Oh, yeah, not a chance.
Grab my phone. Called on officer. If you're letting this happen, you're just as much a fuck.
Everybody else, what? We have to go to you. Why are you doing this? Huh? Where are you taking it? Where are you taking it? Where are you taking it? Where are you taking it?
Where are we taking him? He's going to Honduras to open a comedy club. He's going to open for Jose Feliciano in Honduras. Where are you taking him? He'll be fine.
Yeah. In a post that came up by Nathan's brother-in-law, they put out a GoFundMe for legal fees.
Hold on. I would like to hear the chick scream a little more.
Oh.
Or just a little more. That's okay. I love women screaming. Women are so miserable now. It's so sad. That's all our fault.
Yeah. In a GoFundMe that was posted by his brother-in-law for legal fees, it turns out that after 4 hours after being detained, he did pop up in FBI custody. Where he's at now, it doesn't say.
He's at the Zanies in Guadalajara. He's opened his anus in Guadalajara.
Yeah. Should we go on to Zohran Mamdani's?
Yeah.
Dude, so this.
I love this guy.
Oh, my God. This guy.
I love him.
Unbelievable. So Zohran Mamdani's dad claims that Nazis took direct cues from the United States. Mamdani, 34, has often credited his father.
To people? Why? Why do people listen to their dads? I thought the whole point, it's like, you think I'd do anything that Jim Carolla did? Or told me to do? I'm like, I do the opposite of what that guy said to do.
I've always said, I figured it out early on. If I just do exactly opposite of the people in my life while growing up, I'll be successful. And so far, things are working out.
I did the same thing. I was like, if I just do the opposite of what Rudy's dad would do, I'll be a success. But I have a West Coast version of that, which is Jim Carolla. And I'm going to just do the opposite of what he would do. He wasn't even a bad guy, but he wasn't successful at all. So I was like, I'll just do the opposite. But this is Zoran's dad. What about his aunt, though, who was forced not to ride the subways? That was my favorite story.
So this is where he said that his aunt
we'll listen to the dad for a second.
Yeah.
I love it. He's a good guy.
America is the genesis of what we call settler colonialism. Mm-hmm. And the American model was exported all around the world. Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration. Hitler realized two things. One, that genocide was doable.
All right. Pause it. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but what are you doing here if it's so bad? If everything's so bad all the time and your native Uganda is a miracle wonderland where it's Xanadu, where people and unicorns frolic, then just fucking go there. Just go there then. I really, not for me, for you. It's so much better. It's so much better. Just go there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I love the aunt. I love Zoran's aunt, who the poor woman was scared to ride the subway with the hijab on.
Yeah.
Because it is a great story. Yeah. It's great.
It's funny because he had basically said it seems like she was the real victim of 9/11 who was scared of taking the bus while wearing her hijab.
Right. But let's just play it for a second. Let's say.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City.
Good. Let's talk to them. What's going on, Muslims? New York City. It's getting emotional.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Okay, let me just say this. We do this thing, it's like, by the way, his aunt didn't live in New York, didn't wear a hijab, and wasn't here during that time period.
Yeah, you want to feel unsafe? Wear a Blue Jays hat down to the Dodger Stadium today. That's a feeling of unsafe.
She was in Tanzania or something, I think. I can't read it from here. But she wasn't in the country. She wasn't on the subway. She didn't have a job. But other than that, it's a perfectly accurate story. Just like Kamala Harris is, working at McDonald's. And Gavin growing up hard scrabble. It's a great parable, except for it never happened.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. After 9/11, there was a lot of hey, there's a thing where some guy driving a Ram truck yelled at a guy in a 7-Eleven because he was wearing a turban. It's like, did he put his hands on him? No. It's really not that bad, considering 3,000 people are dead and, the towers are gone.
Sure.
I feel like as a nation, I don't know what you're expecting, but I don't know that the Middle East folks would have done much better. And here's all I'm saying. If I was just living in Iraq and they had a financial center with two big skyscrapers and the Rams team plane flew into it and took them both down. And then I was like, why can't I wear my Rams hat on the subway the next day?
Yeah.
Someone would go, because you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I go, why not? I wasn't flying that plane. I can't wear my Rams hat. No, Just for a couple months.
Yeah.
This is bullshit, man. By the way, I would be torn apart limb from limb if I put my Rams hat on and went down to the subway in Tehran the next morning. So this thing, now obviously this never happened, so he's just a fucking liar. More victim shit, more sympathy shit. I get it. That's how you run. You run on pretending you're poor and pretending you're a victim. Zohran has to pretend he's poor and he's a victim at the same time. He's rich and he's not a victim, and your aunt didn't even fucking live here. But keep lying. And by the way, the people that vote for this guy, you should have thoughts about continuous lying.
Yeah, they're okay with it when he lies. But when Trump lies, when anybody else on the right lie, now they're the worst people. I can't believe that people vote for these people. Put them into power.
Also, there's a weird thing. I don't mind the lie that said you won the golf championship at the club.
Yeah.
Or you're all Central Valley or something in high school or something. I don't like it. I don't mind it for some reason. The victim lie bothers me more. And I don't know why, but my aunt couldn't wear the hijab. Also, first off, you can take a cab for 3 months.
Sure.
You don't have to ride the subway. Also, nobody did anything to your aunt. Oh, by the way, your aunt didn't ride the subway. But if she did, no one would have put hands on her. Yes, maybe she got a look. Okay, I'd say it's a small price to pay.
Yeah. I had a guy this weekend tell me that at the age of 17 went on tour playing for Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then was also a colonel in the Army. I'm like, wow, they give you enough time from Earth, Wind, and Fire to go work your way up the ranks of the U.S. military. And he was like, yep, totally happened. I was like, you do realize, dude, it's a easy Google search to find out.
I know.
But I don't even care. Who cares? I know it's bullshit, but it was a fun lie.
They found Zohran's aunt, his only aunt, was living in Tanzania and not wearing a hijab in 10 minutes and then put it up. I don't know why. But again, I don't know. You said you worked at McDonald's. It's discernible.
Yeah.
Not bothersome that you didn't.
No.
All right. We will take a little break. Eric Trump is going to join us. Rudy, you got dates. La Jolla Comedy Store coming up.
Yeah.
November 7th to the 9th. And then Heavy Rotation Brewing in Minnesota or Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis. Yeah, it'll be a good one. That's a Black Friday. So right after Thanksgiving.
Fucking drizzling when I drove back from the Bay Area. It wasn't a thing, but they go nuts, you know? So I'm driving down the freeway, and it rained last night, and I see rollers, sirens behind me, and there's fire trucks, and everyone's heading down the freeway. You don't see them on the freeway too often. Then all of a sudden, I get off the freeway, and I see this fire rig, not like a fire truck, but like the rig they'll have sometimes, paramedics or equipment or whatever. What's it towing? It's towing 2 black jet skis and a Zodiac raft. And I'm like, that's a cool government job.
That is a cool government
This guy's job is to deploy those jet skis in the river. Like some dog fell in the river or something, and you get to fucking hop with your rooster tail.
Coast Guard.
Fire it up. Doesn't matter how much gas costs. Doesn't matter about 2-stroke oil.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go down to the Kawasaki dealership.
Yeah.
Nothing came out of your pocket. Your job is to ride a jet ski. And the lead up to the jet ski is I hit the sirens, get the fuck out of my way.
Yes.
I got to jump on a jet ski.
You're like some weird kind of like LA Special Forces, right?
Yeah.
You only get called out when it's drizzling or the worst of the worst.
All hero, by the way, no baggage. Like, you racist shooting black people. Whatever the baggage that comes, like, no baggage. All jet ski.
Sea-Doo soldiers, bro.
Yes, you never have to go into the shit parts of town. Like, no one ever goes, oh, I got to go down to South Central with my jet ski.
Yeah.
I got to go down to Inglewood with my jet. No, you're working Malibu.
Yeah.
It always looks cool because you're in the rain.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a gig.
You're on a black Sea-Doo.
Sea-Doo.
Yeah, dude.
By the way, probably cost $77,000 because the government bought it for you.
Yeah, it's probably bulletproof. It's got Wi-Fi. Probably got an espresso machine somewhere on it.
Probably.
Yeah, you're set,
it does.
Bro. Yeah,
it's all black. You're stealthy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Federal Reserve.
You're in the jet ski patrol.
Yeah, the jets. ski patrol gets all the ass.
Oh, yeah.
All the ass.
Yeah, you know who gets no pussy? The cop bicycle patrol.
Oh, no. The
You're on your
worst.
fucking Huffy and your shorts.
Can I tell you a funny story? It was a quick one. It was just outside of the Scientology Celebrity Center. That's where all the butt stuff happens, right? And so it's on Fountain. It's Fountain. So I go grab dog food. I get out. I reverse my car back out. Suddenly these cop cars come and they pull up. And I go. I'm like every white guy in a Black Comics joke about how we have to look for danger all the time. Right. Why people be going to danger, right? So I drive up. I look, and there is a black guy walking down with a tire iron. And an avalanche of cops. I've never seen so many cops in my life. It was like a parade.
Was there a jet ski cop there?
There was not. But I'm like, oh my! I'm trying to get my dog food. I'm like, if they shoot this guy, I'm never gonna get home to feed my dog. So I'm like, I gotta go save this guy. So I drive. I drive up, man, and I get behind the guy. I'm like, hey, dude, get down. It's not worth it. Suddenly these bike cops come up and they're like, hey, get out of here. I'm like, get out of here with your Huffy bikes.
Did they ring their bell?
Yeah, cling, 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 cling. Get out of there, bro. Then I look up and the guns were pointed at me. I'm like, you do not want to get shot by the cops. You definitely don't want to be a white guy shot by the cops because nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's like stupid Trumper. Probably stormed the Capitol on January 6th.
No, they wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not like, your friend Mark Garagos handled the case of the worst cop shooting of all time, times 10, the worst, pure execution in Arizona, and never make CNN, never news, never anything. I mean, that is an insane thing that CNN and legacy media does, which is black guy killed by white cop. All they do is report 24/7, leave out any details we need to know that could show that maybe the cops were justified, and then watch all the cities burn. And then if a white guy gets shot by cops, zero coverage.
Then you hear people complain about that. When a black child goes missing, nobody cares. When a white girl goes missing, everybody loses their mind because it's all how can you mentally manipulate women, and particularly white women.
Yes. There was, and so as I was driving, past the guy with the fireman's rig and the two black jet skis, I'm a producer, and I started thinking that it's got a TV show. Yeah. I mean, you gave it the title. I think it was called Ski Cops or something.
Sea-Doo Soldiers.
Sea-Doo Soldiers. Watch the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Sponsorship coming in.
Yeah. LA Special Forces.
That's right. Let's roll. No, let's glide. That's what they tell. Like, let's glide. And then someone like the captain would come in and go like, hey, I noticed last time you deployed, you didn't wear your helmet. Yeah. Because there was a girl drowning. And I don't think she'd wait for me to put my helmet on. Okay, Cappy?
I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about them.
That's right. Saving dogs.
Yeah.
There'd be like a controversial subject, like homeless guy fell in the LA River.
Yeah.
Found out he has AIDS. You go, listen, I don't care what he's got. I swore. I took an oath. All life's important. Like, oh, man. I watch the shit out of that show.
I would too.
Let's glide. Yeah. And we got our differences. You know what I mean? Like, I'm eating a chili dog.
Yeah,
you know what that's doing to you? And I'm like,
you got the fat Sea-Doo guy that his Sea-Doo never starts. He's always having problems.
Comic relief, yeah.
There's the one comic. You're right. Because Chips had a chubby cop named Grossman.
Yeah.
And he was always the comic relief.
By the way, his name is Gross Man.
Right. He was the doofus.
Yeah.
They would do it. They do that. Even Vegas, Bob Urich, who was Vegas, Dan Tana. It wasn't enough that you have the stud guy. You had to put a bumbling Jew next to them to really make them like it's like a hot chick would go, I need a fat chick to stand next to me. So you thought I was hot alone?
Yeah.
Wait do you see this cow next to me?
Yeah.
And that's what they would do. They'd take the dumpy guy. Bart Braverman was Binzer on they take Jewish, nebbish guys and have you stand next to that 6-foot tall chiseled dude over there and make him look even taller.
So we get an Armenian guy for this show.
We get an Armenian. Yeah.
Damn, I'm in the room. That reminds me is when one time I was in Tampa Bay and I just was like bored, so I went to a strip club and it was a daytime one, and like out came the most gorgeous stripper, and the rest were all just like. Just Quasimodos, dog.
Right.
And I get, oh man, she does that because she knows she can dominate. Everyone next to her is not good, and she's like, I am the queen of the day. That's who I am.
Chicks surround themselves with ugly chicks a lot.
Yeah, they either super hot. They just need one to hold the purses. That's the job of the thick and the fat is the whole, and the ugly is to hold the purse.
And sometimes the hair if they've been overserved.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm thinking about this show. I'm pretty serious about it. And then I start thinking, do you know there was a bike cop series?
No, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure Mario Lopez starred in it.
By the way, that's exactly who I would guess would star it. If they go, who do you want to star? I go Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez. Yeah, probably circa 1996 or something.
Pacific Blue.
Oh, perfect.
And like the beginning was like them popping wheelies in slow motion and jumping off their bikes and tackling somebody or something.
What is more funny, bike cop show in LA or Brothers in Outer Space? You remember that one where they said, here's our idea. We put black people in outer space. And what do? They're black. And they're in outer space.
Yeah, I mean, hijinks and stuff.
Oh, it was Homeboys in Outer Space. That's what it was called.
The show writes itself.
100%.
We need to find the opening of Pacific Blue because I'm going to use it as a sort of template.
You got to.
For our show.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
again,
you got to bring this to the pitch room, Yeah,
I'll bring it. I'll go. It's a feel alike. It's not a sound alike. I'm not going to rip them off shot for shot. But if Mario Lopez was on a Sea-Doo and not a 10-speed, this is kind of, picture that on this. Take these guys off bikes, put them on jet skis. That's kind of what we're talking about here.
All right, here's the opening.
What year is this thing?
So it was in, it started in 96. And
did I say 96?
Yeah.
Well, then make me right. Well, praise me.
Ding, ding,
That was
ding.
amazing.
Thank you.
You
were so accurate.
96 to 2000, total of 101 episodes. So
What?
That's a hell of a
available
run.
for
That's a
syndication.
great run.
This is part of my pitch. Pacific Blue. How many episodes?
What was it, like 100, 101 maybe?
101.
101.
That's enough for syndication.
That's enough for syndication.
Often described as Baywatch on bikes.
Oh, dude. When they came up with that, they all high-fived each other.
You know what I'm going to call
it?
it?
A slow high-five.
You know what I'm going to call Sea-Doo Soldiers?
Yeah.
Baywatch on Baywatch, bitch.
Yeah.
It's a double patty Baywatch.
Dude, you can't get enough
It's more
Baywatch.
Baywatch than Baywatch. You understand? I'm not doing this on that. It's just Baywatch on Baywatch.
Baywatch on Baywatch.
All right. Let's see we don't have the internet. Oh, here.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Pacific Blue.
Wrong voice. No. You got that. This is weird internet version. If they're speaking Spanish or something.
Well, he spoke English, but with a heavy.
I know, but you should know.
But and
you'll know. You should know.
Mario Lopez was only on the last 2 seasons, so this might not even have.
They bring him in to get it going because numbers are starting to. We need a pop.
Yeah.
We need a new biker.
Yeah. Oh, there'll be guest stars. Up the wazoo.
Of course.
We'll have all the big names just drop in. I think I know Larry David. I'm pretty sure we could get him to do a roll up.
Yeah, for sure.
Glide on.
For
We'll
sure.
call it. We'll get,
rollerblade in.
We'll get we'll get these guys going. All right, now we got to find the beginning. But the internet is just festooned with weird stuff that's been modified. Like that's probably the wrong song, and I heard a second of a weird accent, and I'm like, that's not it.
Yeah.
So there is a version of it, but Byron, be more discerning. If you hear weird accents, it's probably not. It would be weird. Although I don't know. The the physical part, the shots are the same. It's
And
just somebody
in
doctored it.
Pacific Blue, they had a lot of guest stars, of course.
Oh, yeah?
Carmen Electra made a special guest appearance as her character from Baywatch.
That's what I'm saying. It's Baywatch on Baywatch.
Yes, cross promotion, dude. You scratch my back, I scratch your back.
Yeah.
It's always fun when characters from another show come as them. Yeah.
How about this pitch? Reacher on bikes. How about that one? Sea-Doos. Have you seen Reacher?
Yeah,
Have you seen that show?
I'd say Reacher on Sea-Doos.
Yeah, Reacher on Sea-Doo. I mean, dude, you watch that guy. I don't care how straight you are, you get gay for Reacher, dude. That guy's so shredded. You're like, look at that body, bro.
Yeah.
He's so shredded.
And the nicest guy in the world has been in here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? I do think he should be nice. He's like an Adonis, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch him like, I wish I was built like that.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah, we do, dude. Genetic superstar.
All right. Do we have that opening, or can we find that opening? I guess is the question. If not, I'll watch the one. But
let me ask you something.
Hasn't demanded this.
Do you think the people from Pacific Blue go to these conventions and sign stuff? I mean, that's enough episodes to be like, hey, dude, you know me from season 4.
It made an impression on this podcaster.
For sure.
Sure did.
For sure.
I watched the shit out of that show. All right. Well, we'll just, if we can't find the actual one, we'll just.
And it's so funny because you watch that and you go, "Oh, I remember when there were only white people on TV." Now it's like there'd be like, that we got to do DI, we got to have that, we got to have a black trans who can do a Sea-Doo.
Yeah, we'll make her. We'll have her be the sassy dispatcher.
Oh, sassy dispatcher, Asian lesbian. We got to work her in.
Yeah,
because they check all the boxes.
Yeah, we'll be diverse. That goes without saying.
For sure, we have to have a diverse Sea-Doo Secret Service, bro.
All right, I'll watch the one that may be the wrong one, just so we can see the shots. The songs.
So
can't be the song.
We'll call this the glory days of television, the all or nothing days.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what channel it was on. Oh, USA. Yeah, that makes sense. It was on USA.
Oh, that's a total USA show, too.
It was a USA show.
Is that still going, USA?
I think so, yeah.
I feel like they just flip their names. They become something else.
But, yeah. Oh, and it's huge in other countries.
Oh, it's still going?
International.
Huge.
Are you kidding me?
Still, it's syndicated in other countries. I love it.
Yeah,
China's going to eat this shit up.
China loves it. Austria, Belgium.
Dude, I think like CSI
Austria,
Miami was like the #1 show in the world. And it was just, they had a Latina on there that could not act her way out of a paper bag, but she was so hot, nobody cared. It's kind of like What's Her Face with Barbie. Like the fact that anyone's really upset that the chick who played Barbie didn't get an Oscar nomination, it does not understand acting.
I agree. All right. We don't have the old one either.
The internet.
Oh, it's the internet.
Oh, here we go. Let's watch the old one.
My option is the old one if we can't find the real one.
Oh, here, this is the whole episode, the pilot.
Oh, the pilot.
So it'll have
here
the
it
real
is.
intro.
All right.
Oh, this is the pilot?
Oh, cold open. Oh, guitar. Single guitar.
Electric
white
guitar.
gangbangers.
Oh, yeah, this is how white it was. They had white taggers. That's how white Hollywood was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, hot chicks jogging. Gears shifting.
Yeah. This is the Venice Boardwalk.
That guy's still there, by the way.
But there is an opening to this show, right?
Awesome Beach.
This is the pilot.
But did you scroll forward a little?
Yeah, it didn't really find an opening.
Didn't have an opening. Oh.
I found the exact same thing as before.
Yeah, but just instead of bike shots in this montage.
Yeah.
Power in the sea.
Me on the sea.
By the way, the girl who just turned around with the glass on and smiled called her family and said she booked the pilot.
Yes, that's true. All right, well, I will look at the old... How can you have a pilot with no opening?
And how
Sometimes
long
pilots
is this
don't have
opening?
openings. Like the second episode will have.
All right. Well, I will. I don't. We're not going to watch the whole episode.
Cell phone's in his hand, and he says to me, "Hey, what's the deal, man? They don't trust you with the police cars or what?" I told him, "Oh, I only have my learner's permit, but I'm working my way up to motorcycle patrol."
Good-looking people wearing next to nothing.
Yeah.
on patrol on a Sea-Doo.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Let's Glide is going to be on every T-shirt
Let's
and lunch.
glide.
Every T-shirt, every ball cap in America and abroad.
I want them.
You listeners better not steal our hot idea, okay? We're copywriting it as we speak.
Here's my thing. Try. You can't pull it off.
You don't have the magic.
You don't have the power that we
You don't have a writer's table like this.
That's right.
It's literally a writing table.
All right, I will watch the opening as we'd
the song.
found before.
How come the internet's getting slower? Everything else is getting faster. The internet's getting slower.
Some more conspiracies with Sam.
Oh, don't even
I'm
get into
scrolling
that.
through episode 3, by the way, too, and it looks like it's different music, but no, I'm not seeing an opening.
It says the song is called Just Another Day in L.A.
All right.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, guys, doing killer things. I totally catching air.
Oh, good old Dave Lander.
Oh, and what's his
Fun
name?
beach volleyball.
Rick Rosovich.
This is
Yeah. I'm going to need
Oh,
this.
that was advanced graphics, by the way.
Ahead of the time.
I'm going to be in our pitch session. This is what I'm showing, all right?
Yeah.
That was fire, bro.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Except for jet skis.
By the way, that wasn't the guy from Laverne and Shirley?
Yes.
The guy with the weirdo, the
Yeah,
one
that was Squiggy,
That was
right?
Yeah, that was Squiggy.
Yeah, that was
Squiggy never took any of his Laverne and Shirley money and worked on his teeth. He's like, this is my image.
Oh, I know.
This is my image.
He's dead now, Sam.
Oh, look at him. Squiggy's like, hey, dude, this is my look.
Yeah,
This is my
I
look.
got the gap.
I'm the guy who asks all the questions.
Could have made a ton, sponsored by Invisalign.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
didn't. Now,
Nobody loves me enough to turn my collar down. This is how I go out.
Sam, when we're done with the pitch,
Yeah.
I'm going to say to you, let's glide.
Yeah,
and
there
you're
we
going
go.
to stand
And then
up
we
and we're
high
going
fives and freeze.
freeze.
Yeah.
Freeze. And then we leave the office of Paramount. You understand?
We don't even say goodbye. We just walk out like the deal's
It's
sold.
always let's glide.
Let's glide.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the rallying
We
call.
could have some merch for them available. Look at this. It'll sell like hotcakes.
International. Again,
International.
we talk about how big Pacific Blue is. Don't even get me started on Baywatch.
When did that come out?
96.
Yeah, it's time for a new one,
It's time
bro.
for a reboot.
We're
The
over
world's
20
ready.
years, man. America's ready for another
All
beach
these fucking
cop.
sitcoms set in an office with their heady dialogue.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, we want actions.
We
and
want
titties.
action. We want titties and jet skis and rooster
I can
tails.
already see how it plays out. It's gonna crush the first one. We're gonna be like, man, we're amazed. We have a really large male, demographic. They love it. And then someone's gonna come in and go like, we like to bring the women into it, so we're gonna pull back on the bikinis and we're gonna make the woman kind of the lead character.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be a power struggle in
Don't
season
mess.
2.
All right, Sam Tripoli's hanging with us.
Let's glide.
Let's glide. Let's glide into some news.
All right. So, want to get your thoughts on this. So, in Iowa, a man attacked and beheaded a statue that was put up by the Satanic Temple.
Oh yeah.
Right, and
I know that guy. I had him on my show. The guy who put the thing up. He's just a nerd dork.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons nerd dork who's trying to impress fat goth chicks. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who attacked and beheaded the statue has been charged with a felony as a hate crime.
Yeah. So here's where we're at.
Yep.
As a society.
Yep.
You can burn down whatever city you're living in. You can move to Portland and establish a chop zone and have an autonomous city where there's no cops allowed and shit in the street and burn the police precinct down and topple every statue you like. But you go out to an abortion clinic and sing a hymn and protest, the DOJ is going to fucking snap into action and they're going to fuck your shit up. And you knock over all the statues you fucking want, as long as they're old white guys and no one's going to say a word or do anything. But you knock over Beelzebub, fucking DOJ is going to snap into action and they're going to fuck you up. Now, I have no idea why they think this is a great idea. I think it's basically like, okay, those guys are Trump voters, so
it's a demoralization campaign.
We'll go get them over there. This guy protested in front of a church, in front of an abortion clinic. Okay, send the SWAT team to his fucking farm and pull him out of the house. But you can do all the fucking BLM protesting you want, start all the fires you want. You guys are fine. I mean, you got to find, Dawson, that Nancy Pelosi clip or like, I don't collect heirlooms. People do what they're going to do. Like, it's insane. And it's now become obvious. Do you know what I mean? Like, you walked onto the lawn in January 6th and the SWAT team's coming to your fucking house. You spent a year lighting shit on fire with BLM. No problema.
Yep.
And I don't know. Now, look, my deal is either go after both of them or don't go after either one of them. I just don't want to live in a country where you're highly motivated to go after the one that didn't start the fire.
Yeah, I agree.
Or knocked over Satan.
This is a giant demoralization campaign. If you ever have a moment, watch it's an old doc. It's called The Capitalist Conspiracy. And it basically talks about how this whole thing is about pressure from above, pressure from below to demoralize us so we beg for martial law. That's the whole thing. That's why the rules make no sense. Like, if you cut off the head of Baphomet, you're a bad guy. But the state taking down all of our historical statues totally makes sense. It's all meant to demoralize. When you have Gavin Newsom going, hey man, you're gonna have to pay almost $1,000 a month for health insurance, but if you're an illegal, come here, we'll cut your dick off for free. That's all done on purpose. It's done to demoralize you so you don't know if you're coming or going, to raise your anxiety so you're so lost you beg the state to come and save you no matter what freedoms you lose. And that's, once you look at everything through a demoralization campaign, it all starts to make sense.
Yeah, and this is my favorite clip ever of Nancy Pelosi, of somebody saying...
80-year-old Nancy Pelosi with her 40-year-old tits?
Yeah, and her bank account. And all
the greatest
and all her stocks, the greatest trader. Always talking about the children and not having the children's not having enough money. She always talks about the kids. Meanwhile, it's doing a lot of insider trading.
Bro, she's been around so long. The Kennedys ran a train on her. It's unbelievable.
But when asked what she thinks about people just tearing down statues willy-nilly. Now, keep in mind, in California, if you want to build a dollhouse in your backyard or playhouse in your backyard for a 9-year-old girl, you have to pull a permit.
Unbelievable.
You cannot do anything without a permit. But if you'd like to show up with ropes and a chainsaw at night and just take down Abe Lincoln's statue, they just get out of the way.
Yeah, you get a police escort.
So now it's a pretty clear... She's basically, when she gives this answer, she's basically saying, well, who's doing it? You know what I mean? See, it's pretty easy. You go, who's on the lawn on January 6th? You know, those are Trump guys. Oh, okay, yeah, throw the book at him. Who's tearing down the Abe Lincoln statue? Oh, those are our guys? Oh, okay, yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I got a crazy stat for you, Adam.
Watch this clip and then give it to me.
Again, if the community doesn't want the statue there, the statue shouldn't be there. I don't care that much about statues.
Respectfully, shouldn't that be done by a commission or the city council, not a mob in the middle of the night throwing it into the harbor?
People will do what they do.
Okay. Well, then why are we pulling permits for our deck if people are just doing
do
what
we
they
do?
Yeah,
just do what I want?
It's crazy, right?
Literally, somebody goes, but shouldn't that be decided by the city council?
Protesters.
People are going to do what they're going to do. Oh, okay, then I should just drive 110 miles an hour to the airport tomorrow morning, right? Like I'm doing what I'm going to do, what I want to do.
It's crazy, dude. The crazy.
Would she have said that if they were talking about Trump voters?
No, she wouldn't. And
she's admitting that all the nut jobs tearing everything down are her constituency.
Well, I mean, if you study BLM and you study like how much money they fundraised, all the money went to Act Blue, which was a Democratic fundraising. After Hillary Clinton torpedoed the Democratic Party by forcing herself over Bernie Sanders, they lost a ton of people and they couldn't make any money. So they created this whole situation in which people threw money to Act Blue and they funneled it to the Democratic Party. Now, if you study what happened with FTX, and this, again, liberals never hear this in their algorithms to go back to what we started with. Dude, the Democrats or the Joe Biden and some Republicans too, but mostly Democrats sent all this money to the Ukraine. Guess what the Ukraine did? The Ukraine took that money, invested in FTX. Okay? And guess what FTX did? Took that money and made giant donations to the Democratic Party. It's all this kind of money laundering to fundraise for the Democrats who can't get anyone in America to give them money. They were going to cartels in Mexico trying to raise money last time they were running against Trump. So this is what they do. I just got to tell you one great. There's a reporter named Greg Reese. He does incredibly detailed, quick videos, easily digestible. So going back to the vaccines, they were talking about how they've done studies that 5% of the batches of vaccines did 100% of the damage, like 100% of the fatalities came from 5% of the batches. And they did a study and they found out that the majority of those batches were sent to red states, and that Kentucky had a 1900% a percentage of the batches went to Kentucky, and like none went to California whatsoever.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
We're safe.
Right. I know. Now, here's the whole thing, and this is the real drama, or trauma, whatever you want to call it. It's the same way with Rolling Stone. When Megyn Kelly's telling me, you hear the story? I wish I could go, oh, tell me the story. I'd love to hear their take on whatever it is, but I don't. And what you just said, if you would have told me that shit a few years ago, I'd go, get the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
Sam. Hang out with your Armenian friends. Now, everything's on the table. I go, I certainly don't. I would not discount,
I don't dismiss this
You
right
don't
away,
dismiss anything. You think back on that Biden presser from years ago when he went to find the basically the DA of Ukraine and have him fired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, so you went to go have the DA from Ukraine fired because he was incompetent, but he's also the guy who was looking into your son, who was on the board of the Ukrainian energy company.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
So that seems like a coincidence. And your son, and also this thing, especially they're like, you watch the legacy media, and they're like, well, Republicans are talking about Biden and his son, untrue stories about never proven, and like no one ever goes, well, he didn't run a soft swirl yogurt place in Canoga Park. I mean, he's a drug addict with no experience that's on the board of a Ukrainian energy company. Does that seem a little, hey, CNN, a little bit fishy? Little bit.
Yeah.
Little bit?
Yeah.
No, nothing's going to China, is working for his meeting, having high-level meetings with all these international rogue nations. Doesn't seem like something, like you go, there's nothing.